Good evening from the ENCA Money Desk. Now, over 60 countries are heading to the polls this year, and this could impact our trade relationships with them. And we had a look at some of them. Now, before we talk to our trade expert, Donald McKay, I'm just going to make quick mention of the four we looked at, and that is the European countries and specifically the European Union. Now, trade with the EU brought in revenue of nearly $27 billion in 2022. Next up, we have the United States, and there we have the fight between Biden and Trump. Those numbers there are about $8 billion in revenue. And then our old friend, the United Kingdom, their election has to be held before next year, end January. And our exports there amount to about over $5 billion. And then finally, our big BRICS partner, very interesting data coming out from there. Their elections will be held between the 19th of April and the 1st of June. Also $5 billion of exports there. So let's talk to our trade expert, Donald McKay, on this. Donald, thank you so much for your time tonight. Why do you think should we be cognizant of where elections are taking place in the world, as they could have a possible immediate impact on our trade relations? And we have to also take into account that South Africa's viewpoints on geopolitical events would also certainly have an impact on these relationships.
Yeah, good evening. So the countries or the regions that you mentioned are all very important trade partners of South Africa. So certainly what happens politically in those regions are very important. I think something we need to note is that there's been a strong move towards more authoritarian governments. So we look at the folks like Trump. We see the EU beginning to move towards the right. The Modi already in India is quite far right and quite nationalist.